lecture is on evolution of modern industry in India, which is a part of your UPSC syllabus when we talk about industrialization and urbanization, which is a very important part of sociology. Okay, so before we do that, we should know why industrialization. So what is industrialization? The experience of industrial economies shows a close association with development and industrial explanation. But industry is also through to provide slipovers which benefit other activities, that is enhancement of skill, training of manager, dispersion of technology, moreover permissible about the prospects of food and raw materials. Made the substitution of domestic for imported manufactured goods seems the most promising route to development of my country. So now, industrialization of a country means to include manufacturing industries apart from agricultural industries to develop the country. The country that is based on agriculture cannot develop as much as industrial country can. In fact, both are the pillars that bear the responsibility of improving and maintaining a stable economy of the country. Through industrialization has been disadvantages affecting the environment and health of people. Without proper industrialization, the country remains underdeveloped. It provides all the necessary elements for strengthening the economy of the country and its technological progress. Industrialization in India started in 1854 with the first cotton mill in Bombay. Since India has always moved toward industry setup and thus making of industrial development of the country for underdeveloped ones. The economy plays a very important role in the growth of every country across the world. It is the economy that determines and separates the developed country from underdeveloped country. The economy of the developed nation depends upon industrial sectors, while underdeveloped countries' economy depends upon agriculture sectors. To revive economic status, industrialization plays a instrumental role in beginning of economic shift in numerous countries across the world, and same shift for industrialization in India. So, history of industrialization. During the colonial period, India followed the non-industrial model as developing country. However, a significant number of Indians took this model as a hindrance towards the growth. They opined that only industrialization could maximize the economic growth. After independence, India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru employed the tool of industrialization to eradicate poverty from the country. With introduction of industrialization, there is a significant amount of growth through a flow of internal and external economies and push the country towards self-sufficiency. But the government has realized that the potential of exports and agriculture was limited, and hence taxation occurred based on trades in terms of trade. Heavy industry of the country was given attention by emphasizing import substitution. The introduction of industrialization in India could only be catalyzed through implication of centralized and planned economy. When we do a paper on sociology of economy and polity, in sociology, the concept of the planned economy becomes very important. And for a UPSC student, the concept of planned economy is very important. The administrative control occurs when the foundation of Industrial Act 1951 was focused and developed regulations of the industry. While there were numerous East Asian countries building strong private sectors through intervention of the state, India during the same period was focusing on state regulation over important industries. In the mid of 19th century, industrialization in India went through two major shifts, which were rural electrification and activation of the state in subsidizing new seeds and fertilizers. By the end of 1970s, India was self-sufficient in grains and success green revolution. Some of the major changes that occurred during the period were regulation on price, nationalized banks, trade restriction, squeezing of investment. In the late 19th century, economic reforms were launched to promote competitive economy. The promotion of competitive economy opened the door for foreign investment and trade. There was considerable amount of reduction of import license and tariffs that encouraged the idea of global integration, which we speak about globalization. Such changes enabled export and import trade to carry out business operations without recruitment of the permitter. So now when we are talking about industrialization, it is very necessary to talk about ownership pattern and the role of the industry, where the role of the sociologist come into being. The progress of industrialization since the year 1951 has been most important feature of economic development in India. This could be understood through commodity composition of India's foreign trade. One hand, the import of manufactured goods are greatly minimized, while the other import of India's engineering goods have been maximized. Industrialization also brought managerial and technical skills which increase efficiency of the operation. There are three categories of ownership patterns which followed every industry as per objective. These three categories are discussed below. What are the three categories? One is the corporate, second is the non-corporate, and third is the other. What is a corporate? It is a public corporate, public governmental departmental organization, and non-corporate, that is the Hindu undivided families, and the others which were the sugar mill, the khadi milk, and the other industries. Thus, the role of industry since industrialization have major part in the economic development of the country. But we are not only related to the three sectors, but we are also related to the how economists and policy makers are developing in the country for the role of the government, which makes it very important providing the infrastructure and also having policies for trade and industry, having an alternative development strategy also, and a complex issues which can be developed by the strategy outlook upon the policies encouraged. Not only but the free movement of capital, workers, enterprises, multinational, and did like a broad philosophical approach lively debated for the free traders and outcome of the proportional strategy of industrialization and protectionist. So this was something like this which was there. So there were advocates of various schools of thoughts. The advocates had believed that LDCs, that is the liberalization, should substitute domestic product of previously included simple consumer goods and extend to the later to a wider range of sophisticated manufacturing items, all behind protection of the high tariffs and the quotas on import. In the long run, IS advocates cite the benefit of greater domestic industrial diversification and ultimately the ability to export previously protected manufacturing goods. As economy of scales, low labor cost and positive externalities of learning by the efficiency and the growth benefits. This distortion of the prices and the economies weather. And the best example is we can find in understanding of the Korean example. The East Asian countries' economies like South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, the balance of debate has swung and it became 1950s-60s for export of promotion in a upper hand of the late 70s, 80s and 90s. And then came something called globalization and computerization. If you look at my lectures on globalization and computerization, I have already given you an idea of those things. So this is what I have to tell you today on evolution of industry, and this again I'll get back to you with a topic on urbanization. And thank you Rama for today. Thank you very much. You can stop here. Okay Rama? Rama, can we stop here? Rama? Hello? Can we stop here?